Hello friends, I'm DDK and this is CT Spotlights number 6. We are going to be watching GeT for Ninjas in Pajamas in their match against NiP for the DreamHack Summer 2014 finals. And this is going to be a really nice match on train, and of course GeT, he was by far the top fragger in this match, so I wanted to just check it out and see what he was doing in a lot of spots, and also to get an insight into how NiP approached the defense on the B side here on train. And we're going to see this now. GeT, he's on inner, and notice he bought a 5-7 on the first round and a smoke, so that's the full 800 there, $800. And the smoke is really important here because it gives them the delay, and of course the 5-7 is going to be really useful just because it's such a good pistol. It's going to take the terrorist down really quickly, good at dealing with rushes, good at long ranges. So this delay that the smoke is causing isn't just a delay for Navi's strat, it's more time for NiP to work out what's happening. And we're going to actually see that FIFFLAREN is going to use, like, basically be the guy on connector, and he's going to figure out that GeT is going to need some support here. And so that's exactly what happens. We're actually going to jump to FIFFLAREN's perspective just because FIFFLAREN, fuck yeah. That is the reason. FIFFLAREN, fuck yeah. He's going to just go for it, and this is really nice. And we'll switch back to GeT. GeT's not going to get any frags here, but you can see that this was that was almost all about the smoke. The smoke at the start of the round. Lots of time had passed, and NiP were in the yard, poking around, and just they figured out that nothing much was happening. So NiP, they got figured out too soon, and FIFFLAREN too strong. But they did end up losing the round, so we're going to see a nice little surprise buy here from GeT with the Nova. This is really nice. You just do not expect this. Of course, he needs a bit of luck. He needs NiP to actually be trying to move towards B, and he's actually going to get lucky with it too. So he gets the first frag there of the round. So now it's a 4-on-4, sorry, and GeT with that shotgun also got all the information, and NiP are now a little bit scared of that close range angle. They don't really want to challenge him because he could quite easily get, if they don't throw any nades, quite easily get another kill. So now he gets to go for the re-peek to get the information, because NiP were delaying things a little bit. So GeT was thinking, okay, my information is not good anymore. I need to refresh it. He's going to do that, and in doing so, you can see how the movement comes in from his teammates. They all make their way back towards the A side, and GeT, being the flanker, ever the flanker that he is going to pick off another one with the shotgun who was waiting to actually deal with that flank. But GeT, he wins his one-on-ones. That's what he does. And NiP now, or rather, sorry, GeT now, he's going to be doing inner alone on the third round with the M4. They did lose the last round, but they've been causing some serious economic damage with all the players they're taking down. So GeT with all the money from the Nova kills that he got, the 2 Nova kills, actually is able to afford a full buy here. And the money's so low that there's a very low amount of grenades for their opponents. So this angle is not actually smoked off. It normally would be smoked off when the terrorists are working outside, but their money is too low for that, it seems. So GeT doubling back through around to the alley, through CT spawn to alley. This is really smart. You can see he picks off a frag here on C's, but he's not exposed as he would be to try to attack through connector. So going through to the next round, it's an eco for them, and GeT's going to be stacking with the rest of his teammates here, and he has the silence USP. Of course, this is really nice on top of the trains because it's all about getting the headshots with this weapon. This gives you a better vantage point to make some headshots on these angles. Look at the angles that he's finding. It doesn't do much damage to the body or the armor or anything like that. But if you can connect with the heads, a couple bullets to the head and they will actually die. So someone with the accuracy of GeT is going to find this weapon to be pretty much the most ideal for this situation. If you compare it to the P2000. So picking up a smoke, which is really nice, and an AK-47, you can't really complain with that. So there's no two ways about it. By the way, this backflip, 10 out of 10. Oh yeah. Didn't know GeT was quite the acrobatic, but he is. But yeah, there's no two ways about it. They did get a bit lucky on the first few rounds, but always predicting the right place to stack and the right way to push. We're seeing a shotgun round coming in now as we skip onto the 6th round for GeT. Of course, you may think, oh, maybe the money is a bit low or anything like that. But actually, in this position, the mag is a very good weapon. It's very justifiable in this spot because of the ranges. he needs to make sure that he's operating with these optimal close ranges, but you can see that there's lots of room to play around with when it comes to using the mag optimally in this position. He's got support as well, and because his teammate went down, Forrest went down on the A side, he has to close the distance now. He has to get information, and because he also has a teammate behind him, so he's going to make the push up, and he's actually going to should be getting a kill here on Zeus, and there it's going to come in, and there's another guy who's already low because of the support GeT was getting there. But that was a situation where they absolutely had to push, and because he had the shotgun, there was nowhere else for him to push other than the white holes. So this is another mix-up from GeT. He's always playing this differently. He's going quite far in there to try to get the info. He's using the smoke to get close, and that closeness is also going to allow him to listen for sound cues. He's going to hear things or not hear things, as the case may be, and not hearing is often just as good as hearing things, because it's about deduction. If he combines that information with the information his teammates have, they can make more deductions and figure out what's happening more quickly. Of course, we can actually see on the minimap that there's some stuff going on over on Ali here. I think we're going to do a bit of a time jump by about 10 seconds as GeT holds this angle. And he's going to get a frag here, but that was happening exactly at the point when the alley rush came in. So they just held, NiP just held a very, very tight, solid position here. They didn't really mess around. They didn't get forced to ever rotate, but all the frags come in for Na'Vi, and GeT has to clutch this. This is one of the things he's great at doing. 1 on 2. Gonna get a bit lucky with that grenade though, which is really nice, but watch this. He waits here. He waits for the peak of Guardian. He doesn't just run at Guardian. He doesn't try to get an angle in Guardian. He lets Guardian do that work for him. So he isn't running. He's not running or even walking or moving at all. He's just sat there completely accurate, just has to aim and shoot, whereas Guardian has to move, stop, aim, shoot. So GeT experienced player, he knows that he has time to play with, and then that is a really nice play to begin it with, and Guardian kind of plays into him. So really well played by GeT, and of course something to expect with GeT. He's so good at the one-on-ones. He's so good at it. His experience and his execution, his composure is wonderful to watch. And we're seeing another different setup here coming in from the B defense of NiP. GeT, he's on this train. This is a nice little angle here. I imagine it's very difficult to see his head in this little spot here, and with the silencer it's going to be really confusing. The muzzle flash, the only indicator of where he might be, but in come the nades, and so he repositions as he has no cover from upper really. So now they're covering, his teammates going to covering upper, or they don't actually have to cover upper because GeT's not easily visible. And again, the silencer is really key here, and he gets the first 2 frags, and that's basically his job done. So again, really cool little plays that aren't so common, and it's all revolving around the rifle plays, and you can see how quickly they're able to respond with these rifles, because it gives them so much potential to move around. If you imagine doing this with an AWP, you have to take much longer ranges. What does it mean? It means you can't get up close, you can't get the info. You're just sitting there with an AWP, just playing really reactively. But modern Counter-Strike Global Offensive, it's all about proactive play on the CT side. It's about taking the information, because it's so easy for the opponents to deny it. And here we're going to see a flash and then a delayed peek. And this is very ballsy. This is for players who are confident. This is for players like GeT, who are very good in their one-on-ones. Of course, he already knows the fight that's going to happen, and they don't know that. He knows that he already knows the angles to look at, and so he's going to get the frags, and they shut down this aggression. He also gets all the info too. So again, amazing stuff from GeT, as expected. Of course, this is kind of like a highlight reel. These CT spotlights. I show the rounds where it works. I show the rounds where we get to see some cool action, but also the rounds which are interesting, where we get to learn something. So that was another nice little trick from GeT that can easily be copied, and another mix-up to the aggression and proactive play that we're seeing from NiP on the defensive side here, the CT side of train. And again, smoke goes up like many of the rounds, because it's something to remember, is that the smoke means that it looks the same. Every round looks the same for Na'Vi, but in actual fact, GeT is able to play behind that smoke and do just ridiculously amounts of different things. And so here he's in a really weird position that they haven't seen before. And look at that, Edward's just running with his knife. He has no idea that that's coming. But that's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for more. Remember to subscribe and take it easy.